So there's a lot happening this week. We have multiple console launches. We have, fake videos on the internet of Xboxes catching fire. We have multiple launch games launching, Spider-Man, Demon's Souls, good launch games and games to cover. But I'm here covering the most important news of not only the week, the month, Eiyuden Chronicle news. So let's get right into it. And once again, I have not seen anything of this update, so we're going to be going over it fresh together. Let's get to it. And last time there were some people that let me know that, my screen was a little bit too big, the part where it shows me up in the corner there. So I did shrink it this time. Let me know if, that works for you guys and you can read along, because I completely forgot last time that only us backers can see these updates. So there's probably a lot of people tuning in that haven't seen anything. So, I did that for you guys. Hopefully that helps. So let's get right to it. Hey there, heroes. Remember, it's now November. And that means another meaty update for all of you waiting for that new drip of Eiyuden information. Been waiting all month, man. All month. We know the wait for that monthly update can be tough. Heck yeah. So we're trying our best to make sure the wait is worth it. Surveys. It's finally here, the main event. The thing you've been waiting months for, the Eiyuden Chronicle Kickstarter survey. Survey. All right, so we got that to look forward to. First, an important reminder, some of you receiving marketing surveys during the Kickstarter campaign, that was not the official Kickstarter survey. Yeah, I remember them saying that before. The official survey will go out starting Friday, November 13th. There we go. Oh, Friday the 13th, nice. In Japan, and Thursday, November 12th in the US. With over 45,000 backers, this will be a process that takes several days to finish. If you don't get your survey on the first day, don't panic. It will absolutely arrive within a few days. If you haven't received your survey within 1 week's time, please reach out to us at their website. Okay. Also, please check your spam folder first to make sure the survey didn't end up there by mistake. The survey will be open for a large part of the development process, but since your answers will allow us to get any early read on some key information. Will allow us to get an early read on some key information. It would be extremely helpful to get your responses sooner rather than later. We're also working on a store backend solution that will allow pre-existing backers to purchase additional items. Nice. I think there were quite a few requests for that, so that's awesome. Some people just couldn't drop, all that money at once, right? So that's smart. This system will allow backers to input any reward-related details that are not covered in the upcoming backer survey. We appreciate your patience as we continue to develop and test this brand new system. Murayama's monthly development update. We are now in the process of fleshing out the details of the game design that were vague before. So that's kind of like war battles and stuff like that. We didn't have a lot of information on them. We just knew they were going to be in the game. Right now, a lot of ideas have come from our team members, and my job is to pick and choose what works in the context of the game Eiyuden Chronicles. Okay, so very much brainstorming some stuff still. However, I'm often stumped when I'm faced with ideas that are equally good and difficult to decide on. I often wonder whether I made the right choice or not. I mean, good problem to have if you got a lot of good ideas being bounced around. And the biggest job I have at the moment is the foundation of the story, the plot. The plot is not only important to the final outcome of the story, but it's also a very important part of the framework of an RPG game. Obviously, 100%. If you have a shit story, I'm sorry, by and large, you're gonna have a shit RPG. Because I know there's people that play RPGs for the mechanics and the battle system. I've never understood those people. I have enjoyed RPGs that have had a lackluster story and good gameplay. I have, but I've always enjoyed RPGs with a good story immensely more. You can't even compare for myself, personally speaking. All right, so how many dungeons and towns do you need to create based on the plot? And what kind of design will they be? Exactly, like where are you going in the plot? That makes sense. They will be affected by the plot. So I have to think about these factors as well, okay? Unlike regular scenarios, game scenarios are closely intertwined with the gameplay. How long does it take for the player to be able to control the game on their own after the game starts, after tutorial? Things like that also affect the feel of the game. With this in mind, I have to keep in mind the biggest challenge of a story, which is to portray how people thought and acted, and how these characters lived, otherwise it will lose appeal. The biggest difficulty in maintaining a balance between the plot as a stage for portraying the characters' lives and the plot as a framework for playing the game. Juicy game updates. All right, the stuff we're here for. With the administrative details out of the way, it's time we shifted over to the juicier parts of this month's update. Let's start by revisiting one of the monsters we first showed off during the campaign. As development is a living, breathing thing, parts can change and evolve over time, as in the Dead Countess, which will hopefully give you some insight into the ongoing development process. Monster profile Dead Countess. That looks pretty fucking sick. She's got oh my god, yeah, she's got undead, carrying her throne, I'm guessing, when she needs to be on the move. And she's almost kind of got like a dark elf look going to her with the pointy ears and claws. And yeah, no, like the monster design in this game is looking great. Like no complaints whatsoever. So the Dead Countess, awesome. A demon that deceives people, turns them to undead, and recruits them to her kin. She has a distinct air of beauty and loves to decorate her surroundings. Pretty cool. Castle of the Dead Countess. Ooh! That is some beautiful concept art right there. So we got like a floating castle over type of, some kind of valley here. This magical energy beneath, chains connecting the whole thing, and that super gothic castle look, which makes sense. It's got like some huge flowers, and then it's like, it's got like huge blades like attaching the chains around the canyon. That's really cool concept design. I really like that. Once a castle of man, after this abode was abandoned and fell into ruins, Dead Countess and her kin took up residence. Sounds like she's going to be like a boss character in the game. I thought that she was just going to be like a goddamn, random encounter battle, but it sounds like she might have a bit more going on. The interior of the castle is crumbling, but it is said that the top floor where the Dead Countesses are located is furnished with luxurious items. Okay, so there's more than one. In far better shape than the castle's furnishings. And that the undead hordes raiding the surrounding territory to obtain them. Word has it that the castle floats due to the power of a rune lens cast by its previous owner. Interesting. Yeah, we can maybe see the effects of it on the bottom of the canyon here. A lesser update would probably end there. True, I was expecting more. But this is a monthly Eiyuden Chronicle update, and we're just getting started. Hail! It's been too long since we introduced a new character. Oh, fuck yeah. I love new character updates. And we felt that it was about time. Let's check out what a fresh new face... what fresh new face is joining the crew? Ivy. What the shit? What the actual shit? Ivy. What? Okay, I need to digest her a little. Digest it. Professional engineer from an imperial workshop. Gender, female, age 19, favorite food, milk. I'm going to go back up to her in a second. Ivy's two massive rune arms are her own invention. They're powered by rune lenses and pack exactly the juggernaut punch you'd expect. Her diminutive stature is a bit of a sore spot with her, so the arms are aware of compensating. I was about to say, what is she compensating for? Sorry, did you say shorty? Oh, you did not. All right. We'll see which one of us is puny after I rune slap your scrawny ass into next week. I like her attitude. Kawano's comment. I made sure this character is just bursting with energy. You can see there's a faint glow around her torso. The idea we're going with, at the moment anyway, is that there's a large glowing rune lens fitted on her back. We think you'll like the way she moves, especially once you see the pixel art. Yeah, the pixel art is key to, deciding, if I like a character or not, in terms of aesthetic anyway. To cap off this month's reveals, here's a sneak peek at a brand new spooky creature you might come across during your travels in Alran. Let's go back up to Ivy for a second here. Oh, yeah, she's definitely got one of one of the more goofier designs or whatever. I think for Ivy, I like her attitude. I like what they're trying to do with her. I'm gonna have to see her pixel art going forward. I'm not fully sold on the concept art for this character at the moment. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. But no, I like the idea, but we'll see how she's executed with the pixel art, and her concept art might, or her her concept art might change in time too. But I'm gonna reserve judgment for Ivy. I'm gonna reserve judgment. Monster sneak peek, evil spirit. All right, and it looks pretty standard fare here. A spirit type monster found in ruins and caves. They are said to be what will become of a living thing that dies with an obsession. Interesting. Word from the team. While Murayama-san has been handling monthly development updates, we wanted to offer a space in each update for a different key member of the development team to share their thoughts on the progress of the game. For our first word from the team, Director Kamuda-san. We decided to introduce the core members' messages for this update as well, and have been appointed as the top batter. Ladies and gentlemen, konnichiwa and komubanwa. This is Kamuda, the director of Eiyuden Chronicles. It's been a couple of months since we finished our Kickstarter campaign. The planning team has been discussing a war event for a while now. Let's have a bunch of characters active in the war at the same time. I want to show a big army advancing on the battlefield. That last one, big army advancing on the battlefield. That's what I want to see. The members of the planning team and Murayama-san would work together to come up with ideas for the game and establish a direction for it. How are we going to show a lot of characters? What would it look like visually? What kind of game should it be so it's interesting to play? How should a war in Eiyuden Chronicles be fought? Yeah, this is a huge question. Why not create multiple units with a captain and second in command? That's kind of what I was thinking almost. With a platoon leader-like character among them, and have the player dictate the actions and routes for each unit. I don't think it's suitable for Eiyuden users or users who want to play RPGs. So let's make it a turn-based type game, but we don't want to make it a visual representation of just advancing pieces on a hex. It's exciting to see the core of the project, of the Blurry War event, slowly taking shape. Yeah, so they are definitely struggling in terms of what they're going to look like. Struggling might be too strong a word, but they're definitely trying to find what fits best for Eiyuden. And I'm very much a fan of the larger scale war battles. I wasn't a fan of 3 where you just had a random few units going around on a map and engaging each other. Very much a fan of 2 and 5s and even 1s, for as rudimentary as they are. Sometimes when a planner says dreamy things like, personally, I definitely want to make siege warfare with siege weapons and larger weapons a reality. They get shot down by engineers and designers. But I love Eiyuden team members for they are very energetic, asking questions like, how can we make it happen? Maybe it's better if we did it like this, or do it like this. Let's make it look like this. It could be more interesting if we use this technology. Thanks to everyone's support, the team is in a great spirit as we work on this game. Right now, the team is in the middle of developing prototypes of battles and towns that have been put into specifications after going through the planning process. Okay? We've shown you a little bit of the battle scene footage and the battle system in the Kickstarter campaign, but in order to achieve the goal of Eiyuden's battle with natural formations, using height differences and obstacles, we've also been playing with implementing special gimmicks in the prototypes. We're also working on the concept of creating a living city through trial and error, including NPC behaviors. I'll be teasing you all when it's ready for presentation. Yeah, the using natural formations in battle and having characters at different height elevations and so on and so forth, that is something I have been wondering about, because it's going to have to be peppered throughout the entire game. So obviously they're still working on it, and they're looking at some kind of gimmick as well. Who knows what that is? And then obviously the living city thing, it must be, I'm guessing, in reference to obviously just towns in general and probably our fortress city as well. So, and obviously, doing different things with NPC behavior. So, obviously sounds like they're hard at work. There's a lot of design stuff that has to be finalized yet for war battles and cities and random encounters and all that. But it's only been 2 months after the Kickstarter ended, so I'm not too shocked. Or 3 months. Event Spotlight. Murayama-san is honored to be a guest speaker at We Play, taking place in China on November 14th, 1 to 2. Unfortunately, Murayama-san's session will only be in Japanese and Chinese, but for those of you who speak Japanese or Chinese, don't forget to tune in and check out. And then we got a Skype address with a number and an account name. That's it for November's update, but don't worry, we'll have another piping hot update to keep you warm through that cold December as we head into the holidays. Don't miss it. So all in all, fairly in line with what I was expecting for an update. You know, we got a monster profile. We got one last time. You know, we got a little bit more concept art of another area, which is also, again, something I thought we might see. I figured it was probably too early for actual gameplay footage and stuff like that. And once again, they're being honest and they're still hammering out, you know, a lot of concept design for this game. You know, they're working on war battles still, they're working on random battles and, you know, the elevation system and all that, and trying to figure out gimmicks. They're trying to figure out how siege battles are going to work still. And yeah, so there's just, you know, there's a lot of concept design going on. And then, you know, obviously we got a new character this week, which is what I figured we probably would be getting. I wouldn't be shocked if we got some kind of character update every month, you know, whether it's for ones we already know about or new ones. Ivy, I'm once again, yeah, I'm just not fully sold on this. It looks, you know, almost a little kind of goofy to me, but once again, I'll reserve judgment for her sprite work and see what that looks like in battle. Maybe I just need a little bit more time to warm up to her, because there are other characters as well that I wasn't super keen on, but first impression, I'm just like, not the strongest showing, but we'll have to wait and see. And then we got like the evil spirit, which looks a pretty standard fare, you know, enemy encounter. Not as impressive as the one last week with like the drooping eyeball and the sword through the back. I thought that was pretty cool. But no, so what do you all think of Eiyuden's update so far? Sounds, you know, pretty basic. They're still hammering a lot of stuff out. And, you know, I don't think we're going to get any gameplay footage and stuff like that for quite a while still. I'd be shocked if we got anything even next month. So let me know what you thought of this Eiyuden Chronicle update. You know, are you happy with, you know, the new character reveal, Ivy? What do you think of the new monster designs? And what do you think, you know, in terms of what they had to say about, you know, their development update? You know, they're very much developing things right now, still trying to figure things out. You know, I really hope they go for the war battles, you know, the more larger scale. I hope they just, even if it's just like really deformed sprites in battle, like miniaturized ones, like in Suikoden 1 and 2, running around doing their thing, I'd be totally cool with that, because it still has that sense of scale to it. Whereas the problem with Suikoden 3's war battles, it didn't have a sense of scale. It really didn't. It just, you know, you were told there was a battle going on, but it didn't feel like there was a battle going on. Very much the same thing with 4, whereas 5 got more of the scale back. So I hope they go for big scale in the war battles more than anything. No, and that's it for this Eiyuden Chronicle update, guys. Thanks for joining me again, and I already can't wait until next month's update. Anyway, thanks again. See you later.